Alright everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Pokemon Platinum. Today, we're gonna do something a bit crazy, a bit fun. We're gonna play at night. And that is actually correct, because we need to, in order to catch one of the Pokemon that we need for the Pokedex. And that is why, as well, that we are in Eterna City. We're gonna head this way to Route 205 and then into the Eterna Forest. I'm going to... oh, there's Gardenia there. I wonder what happens... I mean, if we cut the tree there, does she do anything, or... well, let's talk to her. Hiya! Were you intrigued by the rumors going around too? You know, people have been talking about the ghost Pokemon of the old chateau. They've been hearing rumors about sinister shadows, too. I should check it out myself, but going in there is, well, you know, being that I'm a gym leader, I'm always busy. So since I'm so busy, I can't go in. It's not because I'm scared. So good luck with your investigation. Yep, definitely nothing to do with being afraid of ghosts. Actually, on the interesting note of that, I don't really believe in ghosts, but I have had a couple of things that I'd argue are paranormal happening to me. It actually came up when I happened to talk to the people who bought my parents' old house, and we were talking about, you know, some things that might, or, you know, potentially paranormal things that you kind of hear, and I think a lot of the time they should just be chalked up to noises that you kind of hear. I don't think there really should be... ooh, spooky. I don't think they really should be chalked up to ghosts, per se, but the only kind of ghostly encounter that I've ever had, and it kind of reminded me of all this, is I was in my old bedroom, and it was, funnily enough, it was Easter, the eve of Easter, and all of a sudden a white light just flashed through the upstairs of the house, and I saw it in my room. My mom was about to enter my room, and she saw it as well, and we talked about that. And we didn't really have an explanation for what had happened. So that's really the only ghostly encounter that I've ever had. I've never really... I mean, I understand that people do feel, like, dread in certain places. I've never felt that necessarily. Although, I say that, where I went to... school, college, there was a building that I went to in that college that I was doing a project in that building, and it was an old building that had reportedly been haunted, and I did happen to think it was a bit... there was one room in particular where I kind of just thought, you know, I'm not really a fan of being here. It was a little ominous, but I didn't feel dread. And I know that there's some people that do feel dread when they go into certain places, and I do find that quite interesting, personally. I don't necessarily want to experience it, but it would be interesting to know what that feels like, just kind of as a general presence. I always forgot about that one. That always used to freak me out. I remember the first time I ever went through the old chateau, and that whole thing just freaked me out. I believe, by the way, that this is the... yep, this is the one that we have to deal with. It's a Rotom, and it's level 20. I did know about this, but I did want to at least get to the point where we could get to it. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to weaken it, because it is a ghost type. So we will see if the Quick Ball does the job. Yes, it does! I mean, we've already seen it, but obviously with the Quick Ball, you do want to get it. And it's the Plasma Pokemon. Its electric-like body can enter some kinds of machines and take control in order to make mischief. So let's give a nickname to the Rotom. I have no idea what I want to nickname this. I don't know. I've actually, this is the first time I've ever caught a Rotom. I'm just gonna call you Mischief. If I can spell it. I think that is not how you spell that. I realized that my mic mutes whenever I hit M. Didn't realize it just then, but I caught it quickly. But we called it Mischief. And I was close to spelling it correctly, but just didn't get it quite so. So that is okay. I don't know if there is lore about this place. But I don't know what the lore is. I wish I did. I know that it kind of spooked me when I was a kid. But, and it's full of ghost Pokemon, which is kind of cool, but still spooked me, nonetheless. If I remember, there was a anime episode as well that kind of featured it, but that's kind of it. That's really all I know about it. And because it's all I know about it, we are going to catch the last lake Pokemon. Now that I've rambled on long enough about Rotom and ghosts and all that other fun stuff, we're going to catch the lake Pokemon, and I'm going to make it about as quick as possible so that we can... why is there a Psyduck here? Has that been here? I feel like I'm going a bit crazy. When has there been a Psyduck? Just chilling. I should be saying things, but I'm genuinely so confused. Also, I'm gonna move the Pokemon box around so that certain Pokemon are like in a certain order. But since when was a Psyduck in the Snowpoint City Pokemon Center? Like, I feel like I would have noticed that, wouldn't I? Well, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. I'm really confused about that. It just... I just don't know. Alright, well, let's go ahead and we're gonna grab the last of the lake Pokemon. And all will be well in the world once we do that. And we can move on to the rest of the post-game. I probably shouldn't admit this. So, the thing is because I had to record this episode at night. And, because of the Rotom, which is a Pokemon that I needed for the National Pokedex. And in order to do that, I obviously need to be awake at night. And the problem is the day I've decided to record this. Unfortunately, one of my friends came over and we had a sizable amount of a certain substance that may or may not have alcohol in it, and so I'm a little not fully there. Hence why, as well, I didn't save, which is kind of important, so we'll have to do a save state here. Meaning, I'll have to do the whole Rotom thing again if that turns into a crit, which it didn't. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't think anything will happen. I don't think it'll be that interesting. We're just gonna try and catch Yuxi and go from there. But I wasn't intending to record this a little inebriated. That was not the intention. So, it is kind of interesting that I'm in this situation now. I try not to, if I do have a bit of something to drink, I try not to record because I'm a bit unpredictable. Like tonight, I'm very talkative, but other nights I'm not. And some nights I might curse a little bit more than I want to and things like that, and I don't like doing that in my videos, or I try and not do that too much in my videos. Even though my audience generally is older, not younger, which makes a lot of sense to me, actually. But anyway, not the point. What we're going to do at this point is I'm going to see you when we catch Yuxi. That was actually not that bad. We got Yuxi quite quickly, and Yuxi's data was added to the Pokedex. The knowledge Pokemon. When Yuxi flew, people gained the ability to solve problems. It was the birth of knowledge. And with that, we are going to call Yuxi Knowledge. There we go. And that is the Lake Pokemon, all complete. And, if memory serves here, that means... Well, actually, I don't need to go to Drapion. That means we got seen 110 Pokemon. And I think that means we need to fly to Sandgem Town and see what is going to happen there. So if we go to Sandgem Town, Dawn is still here. Okay, she's just saying, let's go see the go show Professor Rowan. Ah, Joey, you've come to show me your progress on the Pokedex. So you've seen 210 Pokemon. Excellent work, Joey. The Pokemon of the Sinnoh region are being added to your Pokedex. This will certainly help with my studies of Pokemon evolution. Greetings, Professor Rowan. It's been a very long time. I tell you, Sinnoh certainly is a long trip from Kanto. Of course, if it means meeting new Pokemon, there's no distance too great for the likes of us to travel. Oh, if it isn't my old colleague, Professor Oak. I should have expected as much from the world's authority on Pokemon. I always used to joke, where there are Pokemon, you'll find Oak. It's good to see that hasn't changed one bit. Professor Oak, let me introduce you to my young assistant. This youngster has filled every page of the Sinnoh Pokedex for me. Ah, well, very glad to meet you. As you heard, my name is Oak. I've been hearing a great deal about you from Professor Rowan lately. He's been exuberant about your about this fantastic trainer. I see that you live up to that. Know that you've surpassed his praise. You've also got an impeccable sense of timing. You see, I had an errand to run for Professor Rowan on my visit here. He'd asked me to bring the data for the National Pokedex, you see. So since you're here, let me upgrade your Pokedex with the National mode. After all, there are many kinds of Pokemon in this world of ours. And we have gotten our Pokedex upgraded to the National mode. I'm afraid it won't be easy to complete the National Pokedex. However, I'm sure you will make an honest attempt on our behalf. Have no fear, Joey. You will get the job done. By the way, Professor Oak, what compelled you to visit this region? Yes, I heard that the PAL Park is now open. If I remember correctly, it's at the end of Route 221. The PAL Park is a special system that attracts every imaginable kind of Pokemon from every region. I've come to make certain that system is properly operating. Joey, you should make an effort to visit the PAL Park too. Oops, I'll be late for my meeting if I don't get going. Okay, it was a pleasure seeing the both of you. Now bye! Off he goes, as busy as ever. Now Joey, I have a gift here as your reward for completing the Sinnoh Pokedex. We get the Poke Radar. That's pretty cool. That's the Pokemon Radar, Poke Radar for short. Use it and it will indicate grass lurk patches where Pokemon are lurking. I've prepared to find my field assistants put together the Sinnoh Pokedex, but you took care of that. I'm sure it'll be useful for your goal of filling the National Pokedex. And actually, if we go to the National Pokedex, it's not that many more Pokemon. I mean, we've already seen 212, and obviously there's a bunch of Pokemon we won't have seen. I mean, another, like, 200, probably. Or 250 odd. But we're, like, nearly halfway there. That's not too bad. And Dawn's asking if I've chatted with her sister. Why would I do that? Anyway. The PAL Park we might check out sooner rather than later because it unlocks something quite interesting. And by interesting, I mean more roaming legendaries. That is so fun. But outside of the roaming legendaries, I am interested in going and seeing what we can do in the post-game. So if you enjoyed, make sure you go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye.